Wherever we once were, we are no longer a Christian nation.
Showing respect even for one's enemies, trying to understand and insofar as psychologically possible, empathize with their perspective and point of view.
Well, Christina, Muhammad was taken to jail just a few hours ago. Police say he apparently targeted military personnel because of his political and religious beliefs. ABC News has learned Muhammad just returned from a trip to Yemen and had apparently already become the target of an FBI investigation.
This is Fox News Alert. The man identified as 24-year-old Mohammed Yusuf Abdul Aziz allegedly opened fire at two military facilities in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Assalamu alaikum. But my father came from a Kenyan family that includes generations of Muslims. As a boy, I spent several years in Indonesia and heard the call of the azan at the break of dawn.
You are absolutely right that John McCain has not talked about my Muslim faith.
As the Holy Quran tells us, the Holy Quran teaches that, the Holy Quran tells us, and the Holy Quran also says,
I would like to speak directly to the people and leaders of the Islamic Republic of Iran. Your great and celebrated culture. Over many centuries, your art, your music, literature, and innovation have made the world a better and more beautiful place. We know that you are a great civilization, and your accomplishments have earned the respect of the United States and the world.
I also know civilization's debt to Islam.
Thank you, Planned Parenthood. God bless you.
And may God bless the United States of America.
That fiery scene on a runway in Las Vegas. British Airways jet, more than 170 people on board, burst into flames on the tarmac. You see the passengers streaming off the plane right there, and the black smoke rising. ABC's Matt Gutman on the scene in Las Vegas. Good morning, Matt.
Hey, good morning, George. Investigators already here on the scene, likely going to investigate why the fire seemed to spread from the engine to the fuselage. Now, earlier this morning, we got up to see that plane up close. You can still see the smoke smudging the fuselage. Now, BA calling this a technical issue overnight, but the pilot credited with saving some 170 lives called it something different, a catastrophic failure.
Speedbird 2276 Heavy, we are evacuating over runway. We have a fire, I repeat, we are evacuating.
This morning, the scramble to explain why this jetliner turned into a fireball.
Mayday, Speedbird 2276, request fire services.
Speedbird 2276 Heavy, fire services are on the way.
British Airways Flight 2276 bound for London, bursting into flames on the runway in Las Vegas. You can see them here scrambling to safety.
What we had here was what we call an uncontained explosion of a jet engine on takeoff roll, and that means it came apart catastrophically, creating fire and the necessity for the flight crew to stop the airplane on the runway and get everybody off the airplane.
157 passengers and 13 crew aboard the 777 starting its takeoff with a belly full of fuel. More than a dozen were injured, but all of them were in mortal danger.
Ma'am.
What?
You are being cited for speeding. Just can't explain what your options are. Drive safe. No wonder you people get shot. You're absolute assholes.
Thank you, man. I appreciate
You're welcome.
it.
Have a nice
Drive
day.
safe.
Move back! Move back! Move back! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Get off! Fuck you!
Get back here! Don't touch me! Look, I'm not touch me!
Syrian and Afghanistan. Every day Afghanistan hit Syrian and Iraqis. Every day, every day.
Get out, please. It's a private property. You guys are violating the private property. Respect Greece. This is Greece. It's not Middle East. Get the fuck out.
You are not having war. We are the victims. You are not them. We have to live like we lived before.
When President Obama visited Sweden last year, he expressed his admiration for the Swedish model. And that should make Americans nervous, because a United Nations report says Sweden will be a third world nation in about 15 years, below Libya and Bulgaria. Sweden is a society that believes it is racing into the future, but critics warn that it's racing to the bottom.
Jimmy Fredriksson from Expressen.
Jimmy Fredriksson? Jaha du. This is a journalist from one of Sweden's leading tabloids confronting a Swede at his home. The man, a professor, made what he thought were anonymous negative comments on a website about immigrant problems in Sweden. But left-wing hackers helped the newspaper track him down and others like him, so that they could be exposed before the whole nation as racist. This man, a manager, was fired because of it. Sweden's leftist establishment and media believe a cornerstone of their perfect society is multiculturalism, large-scale immigration from some of the poorest, most backward nations on Earth. And Swedes who disagree with that plan risk being labeled racist, fascist, even Nazi.
The rules of the game in Sweden is to avoid being hostile to immigration. It's the most important point to prove that you're friendly towards foreigners, you're friendly towards immigration.
Danish journalist Mikael Jolving is author of the book Absolute Sweden.
It's all about whether or not you can be said to be hostile to immigration. Once that is proven, I mean, you're out of the game.
It doesn't matter if Sweden's immigration model is failing miserably, if test scores in Swedish schools are plummeting, or if crime in some areas has skyrocketed. Immigrants burned the Stockholm suburb of Husby for over a week last year. Many Jews now live in fear of attacks by Muslim immigrants.